welcome all. Hopefully now you can see a thing that says meet the team. We have a few of the team on now. So I will introduce myself and those who I don't think are on the call, and then I will very briefly stop my presentation and hand over to the others. So I'm Stuart Elford, I'm the Chief Executive. Melanie Caesar is the Finance Manager. Sorry, she's the one that sends you invoices, but she doesn't bite, or well, not too hard anyway, and she's all right. Nick Byrne is our International Trade Manager. He and Claire Mahoney, the International Trade Customs Declaration Executive, are both incredibly busy at the moment, as you can imagine, having just left the EU properly, if you like, at the end of the transition period, doing our new customs declaration service and helping our members get their heads around all that is required around export, import and documentation and so forth. So I'll just stop sharing for a second as we go to, I think I saw Helen on. Helen, would you like to join us and introduce yourself for a second?
I would indeed. Thank you very much, Stuart. Good morning, everybody. I'm Helen Hart and I'm Head of Member Services here at the Chamber. I met quite a few of you already, so we've probably already had conversations or emails or so on. But I'm responsible for the team that runs the events, that deals with membership, and that manages all our communication and marketing, as well as various other projects, including Kickstart and Peer Network and so on. It's brilliant to see you all this morning. I'm going to be really rude, and as soon as I finish my introduction, I'm going to have to hop off again, as I'm in the middle of another peer networking meeting. So, and it's an amazing project that's working really, really well, and I'm really proud to be part of it on behalf of the Chamber. So I'm going to love you and leave you in the hands of my wonderful team. I'll sort of hand you back to Stuart. Thank you.
Thanks, Helen. Yes, Helen just mentioned this. So she's running our Kickstart project. The good news about that, we have 592, I think, approved places. She's nodding. Good, I got the number right. And that is, as you can imagine, a massive project to run. So we forgive you on this occasion, Helen, for disappearing. Sam, would you like to come and introduce yourself?
Hi, morning. So I'm the membership executive at the Chamber. I'm pretty sure I know every single one of you, which is great. So it's nice to see you all on the call. It's my job to look after you all and bring in new members so that you can obviously make new connections and build on your business relationships in the area as well. So if you have any questions about making the most out of your membership, or if you think that perhaps you're not making the most out of your membership and want to catch up over a coffee, perhaps a Zoom coffee, feel free to contact me and I'll be more than happy to go through anything with you.
Thank you, Sam. And Sam's going to set up a new series of sort of informal topics. Sam, Surgery with Sam is the working title.
Oh yes, I've got a meeting today at 3 o'clock to put it all in motion. It's going to happen on a Friday. Yeah, I think it's great. I just get to have a catch up and a coffee with everybody.
What you mean, boss, is that you're working very, very hard. Daphne Zamudio, do you want to come in there and introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Daphne Zamudio. I am the events executive. I believe everybody knows me because probably you get tired of my emails, but it's just to give you some updates about the events that we're organizing. So if you need any help, any inquiries that you have about our events, please let me know, and hopefully you find them really informative. And if there's something that you want us to do different, it's really nice to know what you're expecting from us. So it will be good to hear from you. Thank you so much. And I go back to you, Stuart.
Thank you, Daphne. I've just checked the time and I'm already massively overrunning, but don't worry, because the session afterwards, where everyone will get to introduce themselves, was too long anyway, so it's fine. Don't worry, it's all good. Olivia, would you like to come in there and introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you. Hi everyone, I'm Olivia and I am the Membership Events and Comms Administrator. So I work closely with Sam to support her with the admin for membership, and Daphne for the events and the virtual ones. And then I also do the newsletter and support with the social media as well. So I'm here for all of our members for anything, really. I'm happy to help with anything.
Thank you, Olivia. She's also the tech guru that makes sure that none of this fails in mid-presentation. So She's saving me from going any grayer than I already am when we have these meetings. So I will now go back to sharing my screen. Thank you, team. There we go. And then I think I press that button there. There we go. So that's the team. So what's the chamber about? And forgive me, I should have asked, at what point do we do the video, Olivia? Olivia?
Daphne, it was after the presentation, wasn't it?
Anytime that you ask me, I have it
Ready.
ready.
Yeah.
You know what? I think it's probably best to play it now. Sorry for all this jumping around, guys. You can tell I'm a real pro at this. Olivia, sorry, Daphne, would you like to just share your screen and play our impact video, because it's the best introduction to what we do.
Apologies.
There we go. Great, thank you, Daphne, and well done to Stacey for boogieing along to that. I did have a look at faces, and there was only one non-chamber member actually, or non-staff member doing that. Right, I will go back to sharing my screen, and I promise I'll rattle through the next bit for you. As that video told you, we have 500 members, well, in fact, way more than that now, from across Devon and beyond. We have packages of every size to suit every size and sector. We do networking events, virtual and in person, marketing, helping you promote your business, international trade services, lobbying, business support and advice. And I'll very briefly go through what they are. So our events, we say that we don't hold events just for networking, because you can network anywhere for free. Our events have to be give added value. They've got to be quality topics and speakers, topical subjects, things that are actually going to help you and your business. That we'll always make sure we have varied times and locations to suit everyone's work-life balance, and also quality catering in great venues. And therefore, the networking will be excellent as well. On the marketing and promotion, we have various channels we use to help you promote your business. That's Chamber Bites, which is our weekly e-newsletter, which hopefully you're all getting. Solus Emails, which is either a paid for service where we will email all our database on your behalf, or if it's part of one of our larger packages, and I'll come to that in a minute, then that can be included in that. Our quarterly profile magazine, the Perfect Bound magazine, and that's the latest edition there. And you can see we put a tribute in there to our much loved late director, Steve Whiteway. Articles and adverts that we can put out for you. And of course, there's sponsorship opportunities. We also have our website and various social media channels. I think it was in the impact video, but our social media channels reach something like 12,000, I think. Sorry, I should know that figure, and somebody will tell me afterwards if I'm right or wrong. And we also have membership offers. So with member offers, we can either put them out as a sort of one-off, this business is offering this discount or what have you, or member-to-member consistent offers where we provide things like discounted AA membership and so forth. It's a running benefit of being a member of the trade, a member of the chamber. Sorry, you can see I'm reading the slide as I go. So international trade, not applicable to everyone, but this is about our services to import and export, help with the new UK certificates of origin, the new UK preferential origin certification and documentation. This is work we do, and I think Nick has actually joined the call, so he may introduce himself in the bit after this. This is obviously really, really busy at the moment with the exit from the EU, the new legislation, the new documentation, and so poor Nick and Claire are run ragged helping our businesses with this at the moment. Our lobbying work is around how we campaign on your behalf and how we support our business members. And we do that through a number of ways. We set up meetings with the Bank of England, and our meetings directly inform monetary policy. And in fact, the quarterly economic survey run by British Chambers of Commerce, which is the largest private business survey by a country mile in the country, is used by the Bank of England and by the Prime Minister and by Rishi Sunak before they set any policy at all. So when you see the QES come out, as we call it, the Quarterly Economic Survey, do please fill it in, because the investment tends to go where people are shouting the loudest, and the larger metropolitan areas seem to shout louder than we do, so please do fill that in. I also chair British Chambers of Commerce South West, which is the sort of affiliation of all the county accredited chambers across the South West. That's Cornwall, Devon, Dorset, Somerset and Business West, which covers Bristol, Bath, bits of Gloucestershire, bits of Wiltshire. And we are getting behind the Great South West Initiative and ensuring that we are campaigning for proper investment in the region, and to make sure that the levelling up agenda is actually does level up, and that the money doesn't go, as we fear, to the borrowed votes in the north. We also hold Meet the MP events. We work closely with the Heart of the South West LEP, that's the Local Enterprise Partnership, with whom we have a memorandum of understanding, and Plymouth Area Business Council, which is the economic advisory policy group to the Chamber of Commerce in Plymouth, and that's comprises 200 senior business leaders who meet in the council chambers 4 times a year, and in a critical friend kind of way hold the council to account. You are the first to see this slide. This is after extensive work of the team, the directors, and by surveying the members, we have set out what our strategic priorities will be for you and for business. And we've set those into 4 main areas: skills, finance, resilience, and sales. So the sales part, you can see on the left there, is about connecting. It's about new markets, international trade, finding new opportunities, connecting with local supply chains and so forth. You need the skills to do that, which we will provide, and a lot of those around digital skills, and digital is pretty much the heart of everything we're doing at the moment, and we've got some exciting new programs to launch shortly, helping you to truly take your business digital. On the finance side, this is about helping you to grow sustainably, and about access to finance, and we've got exciting Access to Finance Fair coming up. And then on the resilience side, it's about campaigning for infrastructure. It says transport, but that actually means everything. That's digital infrastructure, wireless, the 5G, mobile, broadband, and so forth. And with all of that, that helps you to connect, grow, and succeed, which is, of course, our strapline, and thereby survive, not just survive, but thrive. So all our events and programs will be largely around those priorities. Quest is what we're here to hear about from Stephen Charles, so I'll scoop by that one, or wish by that one as we go on. I just want to give you a quick background into what our packages are about. So we realised in the past, Chamber membership was very much one size fits all. You paid for your membership and the price depended on the size of your organisation, but that bears no relation to how much you actually want to use the services. So what we did was come up with a package of services where we listed all the services down the left-hand side there, and we decided, well, in order, how much do you want to use, which of these services are relevant to you, and therefore, what is the price? And to scoosh on quickly, why wouldn't you do it? Because actually, what we can do, to each of the, I'm going to go back one, each of the things in the grey column there down the left-hand side, we put an actual cost or value to, and that shows that the essential benefit, or the benefits of the essential package, which is just £245 plus VAT a year, is only £20 a month, but the benefit value is in excess of £2,200, and so forth. So essential at £395 plus VAT, but the benefits are over £3,500, and it's only £32 a month, and so forth. So forgive me doing the whistle stop version of that, but I wanted to make sure that we gave time to our guest speaker, and then we can hold the Q&A. So I've overrun by a whole 6 minutes, so feel free to do the same, Steve, and I'm very, very sorry that I've waffled on for too long. But before we wrap up at the end, I will give you a quick update about the current campaigning, the current support packages from government, what we are doing on your behalf to ensure you get the support you deserve. Steve, over to you. And I think Olivia is going to share your presentation so that the technology works, and I will hand over to you.
Thank you very much. So good morning, everybody. We'll just wait for this to come up. It'll take us about 10 minutes. And I think, Olivia, you're in control, are you? Yes.
Yes, just say next slide, please.
I'll just say next slide. So what we're here to talk about are these 4 services that are included in your membership fee. So next one, Olivia, please. Right. So as a member of Devon and Plymouth Chamber, you've got access to these 4 services, including your membership fee. There's nothing else to pay to access them. So I'm just going to go through them one at a time and give you a brief overview of what's available, what sort of things that it can help you with, and you know which one is the best one for you depends on the size of your business and any questions or issues that you've got. But basically the 4 services are Chamber HR, Chamber Health and Safety, Chamber Legal and Chamber Tax. Next one. So these 4 services are accessed through a dedicated line for Chamber members, which is 01455 852 037. That is a national line because we've currently got 58 accredited and affiliated chambers using the service. So it's a massive scheme. Most of the UK chambers now take it. And if you phone up, they'll ask you who you're a member of, and ask you for your name and your business name and so on and so forth. So you've got the one telephone line. You've also got access to a website, which you can access through the Chamber site, or you can go to chamberhr.co.uk. If you do go to chamberhr.co.uk, you need to, there's a menu on the right hand side of all the participating chambers. It's a long list, but fortunately, because Devon is near the top of the alphabet, you don't have to scroll down very far, so you're all right. But you will need to click on Devon Chamber if you go in that way. Now, what I should say is that the website is really important, and you really need to go and look at that. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. But there are nearly 800, well, 791, I think it is, downloadable template documents in an HR, health and safety and legal document library. So it's a fantastic resource, which I'll talk more about in a minute. You get in via that way, and you've also got, to support the advice line and the website and document library, you've also got £1 million worth of legal expenses insurance. The main bits of that are employment cover, to cover you for employment tribunals, and tax inquiry cover, which again could be very useful at the moment. I'll talk more about those in a minute. So in a nutshell, that's what it is. It's the 4 services are covered by 5 advice lines, a website and document library, and £1 million worth of legal expenses insurance. Next one, Olivia, please. So the first one is Chamber HR. That is the most used of the 4 services. As a member, if you're employing people, it's an incredibly valuable resource, because you've got unlimited calls 365 days a year to experienced HR advisors. They've been doing it for a long time. The CIPD qualified and sit on CIPD panels and so on and so forth. But it's very much it's a hand-holding exercise. The one thing it isn't is what they don't do is just give you the letter of the law and tell you that's what you have to do, which is the kind of experience you get if you phone in ACAS, or even if you're phoning up direct to solicitors firms. That's how it can be. It's very practical, employer focused, which is a key phrase, employer focused advice. And I know a lot of small businesses over the years that have been absolutely saved really by the advice from the Chamber HR advisors, who've managed to get them out of all sorts of awkward situations. They can help with redundancy, disciplinary issues, persistent absence, but basically any HR or employment law related subject, you can get help and assistance from these guys. The advice line is supported by a website, and as I said earlier, there is the document library. One of the 3 document libraries is the HR document library, and there's over 400 employment documents, everything in employee life cycle, from employee recruitment to employee exit. Any document pretty much any document you might need is going to be somewhere in that document library. We've also added 2 sections in 2020. There was section 11 is about the Good Work Plan, which covers all the new legislation that came in last year, which kind of got a bit overshadowed by COVID really. But also section 12, which is the one that people have been gravitating towards unfortunately recently, is all about COVID, and you've got documents there about furlough letters and flexible furlough letters, and any template documents you might need if you need to put staff onto flexible furlough and all that, they're all there. So I would urge you to take a look at that library if you're employing people, because it's a fantastic resource. And you can draw up your own contract and employee handbook if you want. If you need help with any of those things, you can phone the advice line. The one thing I should point out is that the advice line is not there just if you've got problems, it's there to answer any questions that you've got as well. So if you just a very basic question, if you're not sure about something, call up. Also on the website, there's a newsroom with HR and health and safety articles. You can do a free HR health check, which is a very quick online sort of 11 questions about how compliant you are. You will get an instant response. You also get as part of the service, you also get legal expenses insurance. The main bit of that really is the cover for employment tribunals. So if you have any issues with a member of staff, it's important you take advice from the outset. And when you get to the point when you get an ET1 letter, providing you've got prospects of success, which you will have if you followed advice, you will be covered, and it's really important that you're aware of that. Members can also get a free one-to-one review with a business manager, which will look at if you're wanting to restructure your business, and they will talk about have you got the right policies and things in place, and they can advise you on what to do. So that's another service that's part of it. So HR is advice, it's documents, it's legal expenses insurance, and a free review should you need it. Next, I'm not doing you, Olivia, sorry. Chamber Legal is the second most used service. Again, it's advice, documents and insurance. You've got unlimited access 365 days a year to Chamber Legal. You've got experienced legal advisors. These guys know so much about almost every aspect of law. It's ridiculous really, but they're there to help you. to answer any questions or direct you to any solutions. And it's a little different than the HR advice line. It's regulated as to how much advice they can give. And you need to understand it's not a free legal service. So they're not going to read documents for you free of charge. They're not going to create documents for you free of charge. They can do all that, but there is a charge. That is a chargeable service. If you need to phone the legal advice line, they will try and resolve it over the phone. They'll tell you what you can do, or they'll tell you where to go to find the solution that you need. And if you're a small business, you're not employing people, certainly, the legal service is the one that you're most likely to use, because it's there and it will help you with contract disputes, debt recovery, property disputes, pretty much any commercial legal difficulty you've got, they will help you to resolve. So certainly for micro businesses, it is really well used. And there's nearly 200 documents on there, checklists, letters, contracts, or a whole variety of things. Obviously 200 in the pantheon of legal documents is not a lot, but it's a very significant chunk of core legal documents that you might find really useful. There's a range of legal expenses, insurance, like data protection, property disputes, jury service you can make a claim for. There's a full, I haven't really got time now to go through everything that's covered in that legal expenses insurance, because there's about 13 areas of cover, including employment disputes. But the Chamber has a document called the handbook, and you know, Helen or Samantha or somebody can send you that if you need it, because that'll give you a summary of the insurance cover if you need to know what else you're covered for. Next one, please, Olivia. I'm doing all right. I've got a few minutes left. Chamber Health and Safety is the third one. There was the thing with Chamber Health and Safety is this is about the documents more than the advice line. It is an advice line and it is a document library, but the main thing that people use this for is that it is the easiest and cheapest way to get health and safety compliant, because on that document library there is a health and safety policy, there are risk assessment forms and fire risk assessments, and pretty much every document you need to be health and safety compliant you will find on that website. And it's really important that even if you're a micro business, you know, over 5 staff, you must by law have a health and safety policy. It's not a legal requirement for a really small business, but it is really important that you are health and safety compliant, because if something went wrong and somebody was injured as a consequence of your work practices, you would be very heavily fined by the HSE, whose fines have gone up dramatically in recent years. So it is really important that every business has themselves covered for basic health and safety compliance, and this is the easiest way to do it. So whilst we don't get an awful lot of calls on the health and safety line, we get a reasonable number, but compared to HR, it's not many. But we get an awful lot of downloads, and the health and safety policy is one of the most downloaded documents across the whole document library. So be aware that health and safety is there. If you have any questions about it, you can obviously call the advice line. But the main thing, as I say, is the documents. You also have legal expenses insurance to cover you against health and safety prosecutions, and the one-to-one reviews will also apply to this. Next one, Olivia. And the fourth of the service is Chamber Tax. So again, you've got unlimited calls, office hours, but you can call. There's one line for tax advisors. There's one line for VAT advisors. They're there to answer any questions that you've got. And interestingly, when you look at the most used reasons that people call this line, help with tax returns is the #1 reason why people call it. But they can help you with anything: benefits in kind, property income, capital gains tax, VAT registration, whatever it is, you can get help. They'll also help with with Brexit and some of the changes in duty requirements. They can also advise on that. So if you're doing any exporting or trading with the EU, that might be quite useful. And then the other part of the legal expenses insurance is that you have tax inquiry cover. That's really important because a lot of businesses will buy that directly from accountants. You probably don't need to, because this is a basic tax inquiry cover, and for most businesses it is perfectly adequate, and people will pay anything from 170 to 300 odd pounds for tax inquiry cover. You don't need to do it because you've got it included here, and people just forget about it. So we're trying to highlight it and let people know that it's there. So Chamber Tax is 2 advice lines and it's tax inquiry cover. So it's a really valuable resource. You need to remember you've got it because HMRC are ramping up investigations into fraudulent furlough payments. So if you do get investigated from that angle, you need to be aware you've got help through Chamber Tax. Next one, Olivia, please. So in summary, you've got 5 advice lines. You've got a website with almost 800 free downloadable template documents. These services are all included in the membership fee. There's nothing extra to pay. The reason being the Chamber pays on your behalf. So the Chamber is investing in this service to protect its members. So please don't think it's free and nobody's paying for it. It isn't free. It's costing the Chamber a lot of money. So we want as many members as possible to use it. You've got free one-to-one reviews for HR, health and safety. These are employer-focused services that your employees cannot use the services, particularly the HR one, against the company. It is for the employer. It's a BCC recommended scheme. We've got well over 40,000 Chamber members using it now. And you've got £1 million worth of insurance underpinning the whole thing as well. So the last slide, please, Olivia. And then if you do need additional services, hopefully you won't, but if you do, we can certainly help you. So just bear that in mind. I'm not going to talk at any great length about this because my 10 minutes is up, but just be aware that if you need something that's not included, that might be you want a legal document drafting, or you want a legal document reading, or you want to get rid of somebody and you need a settlement agreement doing. We can do all those things. So we can offer a full service. So you need to be aware of that. The primary thing is to remember that you've got access to those 4 Chamber services. You don't have to pay to access them, and they're there to help you. So if you have any questions or any problems, give them a call. That's it. All done, Olivia.
Thank you, Stephen. That was great. And you know, Quest Services has revolutionised actually what the benefits of being a member of the Chamber. There were other business organisations, I won't name them, that had sort of tangible, valuable benefits like that made them have a really good proposition, if you like, for membership. Whereas Quest has kind of blown that out the water, and we're finding our members really, really love and value that service, especially the smaller businesses, because they don't have the in-house resource to do all this sort of thing, and can't necessarily afford professional services. But that's nothing to take away from the professional services organisations that are members, who provide a more sort of detailed, ongoing package. I know we often describe Quest as the sort of first aid, first call, save you money, get you out of trouble before you get into it kind of package. You know, thank you for that. Do we have any questions for Steve or the Chamber team? Tony's got his hand up. Tony Cobley, come in now.
Hi, Steve. Thanks for that. Fantastic stuff there. Just a query. There's a lot of stuff there that I hadn't realised was covered on the insurance side. Things like jury service and tax investigation. Normally, insurers need to have kind of chapter and verse and lots of info from you in order to have a policy. So are we all covered without having to provide specific details to
well, because yeah, I know. I mean, if we insure people, if we deal direct with a business and they want to buy insurance from us, let's say for employment cover, yeah, you have to jump through hoops. It's a real pain because you've got to get all this information off of me. This is a national scheme, and because it is a group policy, the policy holder is the Chamber, so you don't need to fill anything in, and that's the benefit of it. Because if you're a business, let's say you're a business, you're employing a few people, you've had a claim last year for employment, if you then like car insurance, if you try and then get cover again, your premiums will be sky high because, oh, this guy's a bad risk. It doesn't apply to this because it is a group scheme with, like, I think there's over 30,000 premium holders or policies, you know, sorry, premiums being paid across the country, and it is the fact that it is this group policy means that you don't have to fill anything in. Once the Chamber joins, you're automatically in it.
Thank you, Steve. Serena, you've got a hand up there.
Yeah, I'm really interested. I mean, I knew you did. I knew that you were offering those packages, and obviously there's a lot of overlap in what I offer. But actually, I think there's also quite good potential for collaboration there, because I've just looked on all their profiles and I don't see any mediation. And I'd really appreciate sort of discussing it further. Steve, are you the link with Quest, or is there someone I can talk to at Quest just to sort of introduce myself?
Well, if you start with me, and then I can introduce you to the right people. I mean, the mediation isn't part of the survey. Are you an HR person? Are you?
No, I'm a mediator, but I'm workplace and employment qualified, and also I'm a solicitor. So I'm just offering mediations, really. I mean, I'm a consultant with a law firm, but my business is mediation. So, Steve, can I get your surname, and maybe we'll take it offline then?
Steve, would you like to put in the chat privately to Serena your contact details? I mean, you can share them publicly if you want, but you could privately in the chat put those into.
That'd be great. Thank you.
So I'll just tell you this funny story then, Serena. So we were doing a webinar before Christmas, and one of our advisors, she works on the advice lines, but she is a trained mediator. And but she was introduced by somebody, said, our speaker today is Anoop. She is a trained medium.
Well, that's good. Getting over to the other side.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll take that aside, because that is not obviously part of the service. That's additional. And I would say that if you are in that, if you can raise your profile in the chamber, which obviously by being part of this today you are doing, you will find businesses who realize they've got a problem. They may well have used the advice line, and they will look for somebody local to help them out. So the profile that you create for yourself within the chamber, will feed off the services that we're providing. It doesn't compete at all, really.
Thank you. Forgive me, I've got to press on because we've got to give everyone a chance to introduce themselves, and I've got to do the BCC. Just to say, we thought very, very hard about whether we'd go down the Quest route, because whilst it adds great value, what we didn't want to do was take away from our members the services they provide. But exactly that, Serena, there's more about working in partnership and the follow-on work than there is from the initial work that Quest provides. So that we did think about that very, very much. And just to finish off the Quest bit, when we launched this, there's a story I've told before. I'm sorry, Sam will groan because I tell this every time, but we launched this at the business show, and one of the guys hadn't made the presentation but said to me, oh, I hear you're offering tax inquiry insurance now as part of your membership. And I said, yeah. He said, well, how much is it? I said, well, membership starts at 250 quid. And he said, well, no, how much is the tax inquiry insurance? I said, well, it's with the membership. He said, yeah, but how much is it? I said, no, it's free with a membership, but it starts at 250 quid. And he groaned. He said, I've just been sold tax inquiry insurance by my accountant for £300. So that's just one part of Quest services, and that shows you the value of what you're getting there. Right, I'm going to do elevator pitches. Get your time ready. I'm going to be really, really brutal. We're going to have like 45 seconds. I'm going to, oh, she's gone. Jeanette just said, I'm going to dash. I'm going to lead with Linda, who has got to dash, but then the rest of you, I'm not going to let you go, sorry. And then I'm going to go in alphabetical order. So Emily, get your pitch ready, because I think on my list, you're next. Linda, do you want to unmute yourself and give us your sort of 45-second pitch on what you do?
Hi, everybody. Morning to you all. Lovely to be part of this really, really interesting webinar. So my name is Liv Middleton-Jones. I'm a director at the Devon Chamber. I'm really proud to do so, working with the lovely team that Stuart has brought together. But my business is international trade matters. It's, of course, like Nick in the chamber, we're very, very busy at the moment with lots and lots of challenges. And I think, we've never been in a situation where there are so many challenges. What I would say to each and every one of you, if you think Brexit and the new TCA does not affect you, please think again. It will. It has repercussions on every single person in this country. The second point I'd like to say to you is, if you think you only have a company that sells in the UK, please think again. If you have a website, you are international, and companies could come to you for your services, because let's face it, you've all got great companies, you've got great people. Why not sell it across the world? Look for your new customers. They could be in France, they could be in Russia, they could be in Australia, and we can help to do that.
Thank you, Linda.
Okay.
As Linda is a director of the Chamber, I had to let her overrun there, otherwise I'd have been fired by the morning. So sorry about that. So Emily, would you like to unmute yourself and give us your 45-second pitch?
Hello, I'm Emily. I'm marketing manager at Coast and Country Cottages. We're actually based in Salcombe rather than Plymouth, but we have around 450 holiday cottages over the South Hams and Devon. We joined the Chamber because we're looking to expand across Devon, meet new people, take on new properties. So we're really interested in Plymouth as a tourist destination. We've recently taken on some new cottages in Plymouth and Royal William Yard. So it's just kind of trying to grow our presence in the area, meet new people, learn about new publications we could market in, events we could sponsor, and just everything that Plymouth has to offer really as a destination.
Well, that's brilliant. You came in under time. That's never happened before in the history of a Chamber Connect meeting.
Sorry, brief.
Are you related to Johnny Mercer?
No.
Okay. It's just that I interviewed Johnny for a Chamber podcast, which is going to come out soon, but it was a really entertaining interview, actually. So
Sadly not a relative.
Sorry?
Sadly not a relative of mine.
Sadly, well, you want to be related to a government minister. It might give you some sort of extra, I don't know, kudos or something. Well, I really good luck with that, and we will help you spread your message across Devon. It reminded me of something I was going to say at the start or during my presentation, was that Sam will say this as well, membership manager. Joining the Chamber is a bit like joining the gym, in that you don't get fit by joining the gym, you get fit by going to the gym and using the facilities. So it's a bit like joining the Chamber. We won't revolutionise your business just by you joining, although it'll be a benefit to you. It's about engaging, and the more you engage, the more you come to things, the more you use the services, the more you talk to the team, the fitter your business will become. Right, Louise Manico PR, go for it. Don't forget to unmute.
Yep, I'm there. Yeah, I'm Louise. My business is Manico PR, so I specialise in PR and communications for businesses and organisations. I love telling people about all the good stuff that's going on, so that's particularly my area of interest. I'm also on the board of Plymouth Social Enterprise Network, again, talking about the good things that people do and building a more resilient and successful economy and city, and something that gives a bit back. I work with lovely people like Tony as well, who I see down there, helping to get publicity and promotional materials together. So if there's anything to do with words and telling people how great you are, I'm more than happy to help you.
Thank you, Louise. That's great. And of course, we have a really good relationship with the Social Enterprise Network, great supporters of each other, and I'm all for that. Thank you. Hopefully my list is still in alphabetical order, in which case Sarah Scarce is next. Scara? No, I hope you're not a Scara. Sorry, I'm going too fast. Sarah Scarce, please unmute yourself and tell us all about you.
Hi Stuart, hi everybody. My name's Sarah Scarce. I'm Sales and Marketing Administrator at Motortronics. We're an electrical soft starter manufacturer up in Ivy Bridge, and absolutely loving our membership with the Chamber, because get to jump on a weekly basis and meet lovely people like you guys. And thank you to Nick for all your help so far with international trade. You've been an absolute star. So we do a lot of international trade, and being a member of the Chamber has been a huge, huge benefit. So thank you very much.
And I can promise you, we didn't pay Sarah any money to say that at all. That's very kind of you. And in fact, Nick, seeing as you're on, just to introduce yourself very briefly down there at the bottom of bottom of my screen. I don't know where he is on your screen. Hi, Nick.
So I unmuted myself and muted myself, sort of thing. So just a quick question. I've got the media studies lesson going on at the same time, so all apologies, sort of thing. My name's Nick. I'm the International Trade Manager for Devon Chamber of Commerce. And basically what it is we're the authorised signatories for Devon. So we do the new UK certificate of origin and the new UK movement certificates, but we're also customs agents as well at the Chamber of Commerce. That's why I had to dip in, dip out earlier on, sort of thing. I had a problem with frozen duck legs from Poland, as one does. So yeah, very busy offering advice and guidance and pointing people in the right direction at the moment, sort of thing. But yeah, so that's me in a nutshell.
Thank you, Nick. Really appreciate that. I think next on my list is Serena Davis. Sorry, Serena, do you want to just leap in and do your...
Yeah, no worries. So just a really quick one. So I'm a solicitor, but actually I'm a mediator. So once you've been to Quest, you've got your initial legal advice, come and see me and I can go down the informal route. Once my website's updated, you'll see that I also have a family mediator and another lady who does sort of community and educational mediations as well. So we can cover the whole sphere for you. And that's me.
Brilliant, and thank you for keeping it on time. And I think family mediation will be much needed after this lockdown and homeschooling. I think people are going to be trying to kill each other, frankly. Okay, after Serena on my list, sorry, I've got to operate technology at the same time as doing everything else. I have Stephanie Anderson. Stephanie, do you want to unmute yourself, give yourself your 45-second intro to the team? Unmute, Stephanie, there you go.
Create CSR opportunities for businesses in schools, further education and HD. So businesses are currently showing heads about their career journey and best practices and opportunities.
Stephanie, I'm really sorry. I don't think anyone can hear you. Can anyone hear Stephanie? No, sorry. Stephanie. Oh, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
We can. Go for it. I'll give you start your thing again. Go for it.
I don't know what happened there, but apologies. So I'm Stephanie, I work with Young Enterprise. I've got two hats. The first one is I create CSR opportunities for businesses in schools, further education, HE, who are currently showing talking heads about the career journey, best practice tips and opportunities. So if anyone's interested in helping to inspire students, which is really important at the moment, and help raise their aspirations, please get in touch. We can put you in a school classroom virtually. I also work as an education tutoring coach, so if your child or student needs any extra support, again, please get in touch and I can help with that too. That's it.
Thank you, Stephanie. I think next on my list is Tony Cobley. Tony, do you want to go for it?
Hi, yep, Tony Cobley Photography, and I do commercial photography, so that's photography for marketing purposes, and been luckily pretty busy through all this. Working for all sorts of people on all sorts of marketing projects, from law firms for their headshots to holiday cottage companies for property and interior. And I think I've got to finish because I thought there was a finish button, Stuart.
No, that's, you got 17, 18 seconds. I'll finish for you. So Tony Cobley is one of only 2 photographers in the entire universe who've ever managed to take a photo of me I like, because I'm the least photogenic person. On here, I look like this, but in real life, I'm practically Tom Cruise, I tell you. But Tony and
very easy to photograph, Stuart. It's a lie.
Yeah, oh, bless you. Well, thank you. And Tony is a great supporter of the Chamber, great friend of the Chamber. So thank you for that. Now, have I missed anyone? I don't think I have. If I've missed you, put your hand up. Nope, no hands going up. That's great. So we've got 3 minutes left. I just want to very briefly tell you what we're doing campaigning on your behalf at the moment. So forgive the whistle stop, but here I go. So the campaigning during the first lockdown was probably the most that you've ever seen British Chambers of Commerce do. And the furlough scheme, the extension to it, the Sybil scheme, the bounce back scheme, the self-employed income support scheme, all have the fingerprints of British Chambers of Commerce all over it, who had a direct line in to Rishi Sunak. And in fact, examples we gave of businesses in Devon were used by Rishi Sunak to change government policy. That is why it's really, really important that when we ask you for examples of how you're affected by things, you tell us. Because government, no matter how many times we say business needs that or needs that, they say, give us examples, tell us how, so that we can evidence what's going on. British Chambers called for 5 tests for any lockdown, that there was notice, that they were evidence-based, that there was clarity about what is required and an exit strategy, and that the support packages were commensurate with the impact on businesses, and that any time of lockdown was used to improve the test, track and trace and isolate system, and of course now to improve the rollout of the vaccine programme. We would say that some of those tests are met, but some of them are still not being met, particularly around support that is commensurate with the impact. So the support actually has been dwindling, and Rishi Sunak has been visibly absent lately from a lot of the government briefings. And we know this is costing a lot of money, but a lot of businesses they're having what they call 3 winters, especially leisure, hospitality and tourism, where they've gone through a really tough time, and we are about to hit the spring where they have VAT due, rates due, CBILS payments due, furlough scheme is coming to an end, and we are on the precipice of seeing a lot of business failures and a lot of unemployment. So we are pushing incredibly hard to get government to ramp up the levels of support for business and to have a 12-month plan. Business cannot plan with this start-stop short packages of support. Businesses won't make investment decisions if they don't know what's going to happen over the next 12 months. So I want you to know how hard we're working for you on that, as well as in the background doing all the usual stuff around levelling up, infrastructure, transport, connectivity, 5G, you name it, we're lobbying and campaigning for it. I'm sorry that was a quick whistle stop. I see we've reached 10:30, so I ought to let you run and save yourselves and go back to doing whatever you're doing. I'm really grateful for you all joining us. Please stay in touch. If there's anything we can do for you, just drop any of the team a line. Our email format is firstname.surname@devonchamber.co.uk. I'm quite happy to connect with any of you, stuart.elford@devonchamber.co.uk. If you've liked this event, please share it on social media with the hashtag ChamberConnect. If you haven't liked it, please don't. Tell us and tell us what you want, and we will improve it. It's lovely to see you all. Thanks for being part of the Chamber family. Great to connect with you all, and I hope I'll see you soon at another event. Thanks, guys.